just kind of reinforcing a lot of my somewhat libertarian views on how the world should run. Then I read Michael Connelly's latest, Desert Star. Bosch is getting old, and how he handles that is well done, because Bosch can't be the super cop all the time, right. And he's kind of handing things off to others while trying to maintain his own fire for solving these cases. But, he has chronic myelocytic leukemia.
Oh, so he's not only aging, he's also not well.
Dying.
Yeah.
And I suspect in the next book we will see the end of Harry Bosch, and Renee Ballard is going to take over as the, the Bosch character detective.
Interesting.
He's setting that up, and I can just, having followed this series for so long, I can just see him foreshadowing a lot of things here.
You can see it coming.
It's coming. The other one I read that gets into this sort of silly, although it's taken a serious turn, I'm only about halfway through, is the Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires.
All right, I'm in for that. I'm all in for that.
So, Grady Hendrix, his first book was My Best Friend's Exorcism, which is Mean Girls Meets The Exorcist. High school girl in a small southern town gets possessed by a demon, and her friend has to find an exorcist in this little Southern Baptist town.
I'm in. I'm totally in.
That one was, it was very much like your Collars and Curses with this, high school female snark
with that voice
going on.
Love that voice.
And it takes some dark turns. It's, there's some semi-serious stuff about it, but it was funny in a kind of dry, wicked sort of way. And if you know anything about small town South, there was just so many of those small town tropes in there. And then trying to sober up the priest so he can do the exorcism.
I come from a small town in California where we had to do that. So, hey.
The Southern Book Club Guide is a bit darker and more social commentary. Black children are disappearing. So basically it's vampires in suburban Atlanta, and the ladies' book club tumbles to this, and no one will take them seriously.
Of course not.
But again, it's all full of these genteel Atlanta suburban, tropes of, oh, but I don't have enough finger sandwiches. And it's like, Patricia, we're talking about the vampires.
Yeah, I'm all in for that. I'm going to have to pick up. I think I'll read the Exorcist one first, though, because that's really my cup of tea right there.
Yeah, no, so that's basically where I am. And then, like I said, serious, heavy social commentary, sociology, which I won't bore people with, but it's kind of fascinating.
I did also read another book. Again, this is one of those things where I picked this book up a long time ago, quite a while ago, and I didn't get around to reading it. So again, I'm making sure that every third book is a book off of my I own it, I better read it pile. And this is Every Heart a Doorway by Sharon and McGuire. And my gosh, she does such a lovely job with this.
I loved that book.
Yeah.
I did not get into the subsequent Wayward Children books, but that book I loved.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that book. So those are the things that I've been reading, and I'm gonna take notes off your list now. So there you go.
Grady Hendrix.
Yeah, I'm up for that. All right. So, have you done any writing since the last time we talked?
Finished the Civil War book.
What?
It is. I said I would get it done by the first of the year, and it was January 9th, but it's done.
That's fabulous. That's exciting.
It is.
You got through that space you were in.
I broke through. I'm not sure that I've ended it well. And now, you always have doubts when you go through it.
Right.
And I've done my first reread and haven't found major, I got that name wrong and now it's a different name, major continuity type errors. I need a beta reader. I need somebody who's going to read this thing and say, yeah, this is engaging to someone who's not obsessed with this particular episode of the Civil War.
Yeah.
You know.
So okay, so that's your next step, huh?
Yeah.
Get a beta reader and see how it see how it goes.
Hint.
I have to look at my schedule, but we'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk.
So I brought it in about 108,000 words, which is a
That's
little
not
bit
bad.
less than I had anticipated.
That's not bad, yeah.
I didn't elaborate a great deal on some aspects of the very final. I mean, I guess I could have put a little bit more
Well, that's all part
tension
of
or description into it, but
That's
when you get
all-
right down to it, I wanted it fairly clean and straightforward.
right. Well, and that's all part of the revisioning too, and revising is looking at that, and if your beta reader says you jumped ship on me, what happened?
Right.
Then that's when you need to go back and add some more. So yeah, 108,000 though, that's not bad for historical fiction, which is not as fiction as it is historical. So that's a pretty good target. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd figured maybe 110 to 120,
Yeah.
and a little bit under that.
Well, honestly, what we're hearing right now, because of the paper shortages and all the things, we're hearing that agents are kind of pushing on authors to go shorter rather than longer.
Right.
So that if it's
We'll see.
all right.
I've gone back to visit the Prophet Universe.
Excellent.
I have a collection, an anthology type collection of things that has already been self-published. That's ready to go. And I've taken up the Prophet Motive story again. And as I've been rereading it and getting back into it, it's like, hey, this is pretty good.
I love it when we do that.
This is pretty good, darn it. Why
I
did I
love
stop?
when we go back and we say, hey, that's not as bad as I thought it was. Yeah.
And
It's
I've
got
got a
some
direction
potential.
I can go now, too, I think.
Oh, good.
So
Good. I'm excited for that.
I got discouraged because I thought I was getting too much into the same kind of pattern. It's like, no, here's where I can break that.
I love those characters too. I think all your readers who read that series love those characters. So
Well, they're very much in character. We find out all kinds of dark secrets about Cleopatra Lee.
ooh, now I'm really intrigued.
And have a few little, feminine, like Cleo's in they go to a formal affair and she's in a chom song, just a very straight line, simple dress. And somebody's trying to be insulting and saying, well, it's not, isn't it wonderful how certain fashions never go out of style and simple is always better?
Little catty stuff.
And she says, yes, and you would know having seen so many fashion seasons.
Love it. Yeah, I'm all there for the cattiness. Good. Well, and not that your historical fiction is influencing Prophet at all, but you
Yes.
do know a little bit about fashion now. So
More than anybody should know, believe me.
yeah, so you've
too
done a
many deep
lot more.
dives.
You've managed a lot more progress than I have. I worked on the work in progress, the sequel to Collars, but I didn't get very far with it.
I haven't broken too much new ground with
Okay.
this, but I've gone back and
Well, I need to break.
now
new
I've set
ground.
it up, and I think I know what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah, I actually need to break ground. I actually need to do the writing. I know what the story is and the characters. I just need to write it. And I didn't get a lot of that done. I did get some of it done, but I had some things that happened over the holidays that kind of distracted me. So
I understand.
yeah, and I have I'm still carrying a good solid load of clients too, and lovely, wonderful people. I just love working with my clients, but I get really excited when they make breakthroughs. I love it. So
Nice, I get that.
it does my heart good.
I teach residents, and it's
It's
like, yes.
right. Yeah. So anything else that we should cover this month, or
I don't think so, unless you
Okay.
have some burning question.
no? I'm good. So it's been good to catch up, though. It's nice to see you in 2023.
Yes.
A new year.
Always good to see you too.
We have lots
And we
coming.
got, festival season coming up.
Oh,
so.
we do. Yes, we do. Because yes, it's making my head spin as I fill out my calendar. Woo! That weekend's done. That weekend's done. That weekend's done. But you know what? I love doing it. I love getting out and talking to people about books. Like just as much as you do. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's the fun part of this.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, I think that'll do it. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this edition of the Brick Cave Podcast. Anytime you'd like to hear us, you can join us online at brickcavepodcast.com. Our BC Book Club members can enjoy extra episodes and other great advantages, such as
Free books.
Details on the Brick Cave website, brickcave.media. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll drop by again soon.
Bye.
Bye.